Dear students, how things are going on? I'm sure all of you are eagerly waiting to come to college, to join the classes, to stride on the corridor of your department, and to gossip with your friends and classmates. Same is the case about us. We, the teachers, are also passionately, fervently longing to meet you in the class. A classroom full of life and full of vibration. So hope for the best. Better days will come again, and it will come very soon. My dear students, welcome you all to my 2 days presentation. This is Muhammad Tubarok Hussain Mullah, Assistant Professor of English, Kumilla Government College, Kumilla. There is an image for you. Can you guess who is this person? There is another person in the right side. Think about them. Yes, certainly the person in the right side is William Shakespeare, the greatest dramatist of English literature of Elizabethan time. And the person in the left side is Sophocles, who wrote Oedipus Rex. So this class is designed for the students of honors second year, and the course is Introduction to Drama. I would like to mention one thing, that do you know what is the difference between drama and play, or is there any difference between drama and play? Yes, it should be remembered that we often use the words play and drama interchangeably, but it is better to use the term play for an individual piece of writing, and drama for the form or genre. That means a play means an individual drama, and the term drama is a type of literature. This is the genre in French. Now, here you see there are two images of something like stadium, but you can think that these are not only stadium, these are mostly like the theaters. Of course, these are the pictures of Greek theater. The Greek play was staged in a theater much like a stadium today. Several thousand people could see King Oedipus at one time, because the theater of Greek time was so large. So, while a Shakespearean play was watched by almost mostly several hundred, or at best 1,000 audience, while in Greek time the audience was almost several thousand. So remember that in Greek time, theater or theatrical performance was very much popular, and people used to come on theater with a pride and dignity. This is Oedipus Rex by Sophocles. You see that Sophocles was born in 496 and died in 406 BC. The opening scene is magnanimous. That means The opening scene has played a great role throughout the play, and most of the opening scene in Greek plays uh, have the same contribution. After the end of this lesson, learners will be able to say about Sophocles, to define tragedy and tragic hero, to distinguish between classical tragedy and modern tragedy, to describe the features of Greek tragedy found in Oedipus Rex, to explain the functions of chorus in Oedipus Rex. Here there is a short profile of Sophocles. Sophocles was one of the three great ancient Greek writers of tragedy. You can remember other two great writers of Greek time. They are Aeschylus and Euripides. Sophocles wrote more than 120 plays, of which only 7 complete plays have survived. He wrote 120 plays, while only 7 plays have survived. King Oedipus is believed to have been first produced in 425 BC. Sophocles was a man of great charm, handsome, and well to do. He was loved by everybody, and after his death, he was worshipped as a hero. Now, my dear students, look at the diagram on the right side. These are the elements of tragedy prescribed by Aristotle. Aristotle prescribed that the first elements of tragedy is plot. He called it soul of tragedy. According to Aristotle, the plot is the most important element of a play. He called it the soul of a tragedy and the imitation of action. Plot refers to the arrangement of all the elements into a meaningful pattern. We must remember that a plot has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the beginning will be just the exposition. The beginning will be just the exposition, and the middle will be development or climax, and the ending, this is just like the resolution. These are the 5 parts of a tragedy or of a play, and this topic has been discussed very finely by our Halima madam in another class. I will suggest you to watch that video. Then plot. After that, you see the character. The second important aspect of tragedy is character. The main character is called the protagonist. The force opposing the protagonist is known as the antagonist. Playwrights, that means the dramatists, use characters to convey the thematic concern of their plays. And we see that there are 2 types of characters: flat or stock characters and round characters. Flat or stock characters display certain features throughout the play. Round characters are fully developed. That means round characters have some ups and downs, and round characters they change their life throughout the action of the play, but the flat characters always remain the same. Then thought. Thought is also important because thought is expressed through the settings, through the direction or instruction of the playwright, and also through the dialogues or language used by the characters. So often we see in tragedy, thoughts are very serious. Lofty thoughts and lofty ideas are often found in tragedy, especially in Greek tragedy. So that means there is a philosophical undertone throughout the whole body of a play, of a tragedy. And then come diction and language. Diction and language, a very important thing in this sense that without diction or without language, we will not have nothing. We will have nothing to go to understand. But dramatists convey the story through dialogue, and without the help of uh, any direct comment or analysis. That means a dramatist has no scope to make his own comment, just as the novelists or storytellers, because uh, whatever he wants to express, he must express it through the dialogues of the characters. So one more thing, diction means, this is a literary term. Diction means the selection of words or language by an author for his specific writing. Then song. um, in Greek tragedy, songs are very common, and the songs are presented through the chorus, and songs are presented to sometimes to interpret, sometimes to predict, sometimes to deliver a message to the audience. Then finally, spectators. Spectacles, that means audience. Spectacles are those for whom the whole play is designed and is performed on the stage. So without spectacles or without audience, the all the dramatic performance will be meaningless. Now we can look at the definition of a tragic hero, of tragedy by the tragedy is a play dealing with tragic events and having an unhappy ending. This is Aristotle's definition of tragedy. Tragedy is a play is an imitation of an action that is serious, complete, and a certain magnitude, complete in itself, in appropriate and pleasurable language, in a dramatic rather than narrative form, with incidents arousing pity and fear, wherewith to accomplish a catharsis of these emotions. So now we can try to uh, understand the definition of Aristotle. That means tragedy is an imitation of action. That means this will be just a tragedy will follow the real life. That is an imitation of action, and it will be serious. Most important thing about tragedy is it will be highly serious, and it will be complete in itself. That means all the dramatic incidents will be complete in itself, and it will be presented. That means the tragedy will be presented through uh, in appropriate and pleasurable language. That means it will be the language will be appropriate for the tragedy that is going to be presented, and pleasurable language in a dramatic rather than narrative form. The tragedy must be dramatic, because we already mentioned that a dramatist has no scope to narrate the incidents as the novelist or the storyteller. Whatever he wants to express, he must express it through the characters, through the dialogues, and with incidents arousing pity and fear. Pity and fear. Pity means one kind of sympathy for the tragic hero, observing the downfall, the sorrowful atmosphere, the um, the fearful condition of human life. this is very usual that the audience or the spectacles will feel some kind of sympathy for the tragic hero. But this pity and fear will also act as a purification process in his mind. That means it will bring a catharsis in the end. So, this is the definition of tragedy, and we have also discussed the elements of tragedy here. Then, tragic hero. Tragic hero, you see, in tragic hero, the right side, there are some notes to conceive the idea of a tragic hero. A fine man, yet not perfect. That means a tragic hero will be, apparently he will be a very fine man, but he is not perfect. A tragic hero must have a hubris or pride, and hamartia or tragic flaw in the very character of tragic hero. So all these three notes combine one idea that a man of high position or high status, but he is not perfect, he must have a pride in himself, and he will have a tragic flaw. And in the left side, I'm sorry, it is not very clear, but I am reading out a tragic hero. A tragic hero is a man of high estate, a king, a prince, a general, etc. Most important thing about tragic hero that we will hear about him from others before we see him. That means the audience will must know about the tragic hero before his presence on the stage, before his arrival or before his presence on the stage before them. So he is a very popular man, and very you can say that very important as a person. And a tragic hero must have a tragic flaw, and he will be prideful. Now, Oedipus. Then, if we consider Oedipus, we will see that he is definitely a tragic hero. Now, there are some brief questions for you. Suppose, who is Sophocles? We know it very well that Sophocles is a great playwright of ancient Greece who wrote Oedipus Rex. Then, mention at least 4 aspects of Greek tragedy. We have already discussed 6 aspects of tragedy, and now we have to mention 4 aspects. These are tragic hero, song, a unified plot, and chorus. Then, can you now define tragic hero? So the answer is, a tragic hero is a man of supreme position who suffers his downfall due to certain error in his judgment or on his character. Now, these are the features of Greek tragedy. The features have already been discussed, but just now, just look at a glance. There are some notes in brief. A tragic hero, he is a high class man of high caliber. A tragic hero must have a tragic flaw, that means certain fault in the very character of tragic hero. Then catastrophe. Catastrophe means purgation of emotion. Purgation means purification. Catastrophe means purification. If we want to make it easy, that means purification of emotion through pity and fear, that is catastrophe. Chorus. Chorus means a group of performers consisting 12 to 15 persons who play the role as a representative of the citizens. Now, fate. Man is only the plaything of fate. Man cannot outdo the design of destiny. Three unities: unity of time, unity of place, and unity of action. All the Greek plays have maintained three unities. For your information, I should mention here that the modern dramatist, even the Elizabethan dramatist, they don't maintain the three unities. Shakespeare and his contemporaries have often broke this rule, but all the dramatists maintained unity of action, because without unity of action we cannot call it a tragedy in real sense. For your examination, there are some notes here. Suppose tragic hero, catastrophe, and three unities. These are very important. Now, main characters in Rex. Just look at a glance. Oedipus is the king of thieves. Jocasta, wife of Oedipus. Creon, brother of Jocasta. Tiresias, a blind prophet. Chorus of Theban elders. Some minor characters: a priest, a messenger, a shepherd, and an attendant. So, functions of chorus in Oedipus Rex. Chorus acts as a bridge between the characters and the audience. So, chorus perform the role of perform just like a breeze, just like a breeze between the characters and the audience. Acts as an interpreter of present incidents and as predictor of probable happenings. That means, in Greek tragedy, chorus often we see that interpret what has happened, and sometimes they also predict what may happen in next. An essential and inescapable dramatist persona. The chorus is a part and parcel of Greek pattern. Then, as the upholder of religious piety, the chorus always upholds their religious belief, because in one sense, they represents the conscience of their society, of their contemporary society or country. The choral odes, that means the songs sung by the chorus, expresses its reactions to the changing and developing plot, the development of the tragedy, and take part in the dialogue and in the action. Now I can give you a homework. You can prepare an assignment on the role of chorus in Oedipus Rex. You can also submit it to my email address. My email address is given here, but if you wish, you can submit it through in my email. But I will suggest you that at least you should try yourself to make an assignment on the role of chorus in Oedipus Rex. My dear students, thank you very much for joining my presentation, and I hope I will bring some more classes within few days, and gradually we will cover all the honors bases second year, third year, fourth year. So I hope that you will be benefited if you join our classes regularly. And I have to stop here today. Thank you very much for joining with me. Thank you.